In a world filled with innovation driven by what ifs, what if I told you that we could now create a model that would enable a physically disabled person to move and play like a normal person could? Or if army personnel can now replicate real life scenarios during training, but safely? Or even better, you will know how deep sea diving feels. But wait, you're in your bedroom. We present to you the nerve shell machine. This idea is the next best thing in human-computer interaction, where we try and reach corners of virtual reality that have never been explored before.
The technology simply comprises of a flexible EEG cap combined with a full-body haptic suit, a sensory deprivation pod, and existing VR hardware. The way that you would create this fully immersive experience is by one, reading the brain signals of the user and transforming those with machine learning algorithms into actual movements in a 3D virtual environment. The second step would be to provide visual reinforcement that what's happening is happening through the VR goggles, and physical reinforcement through the full haptic suit, in order for the user to truly feel that their actions have responses, and this provides the immersion. And lastly, the sensory deprivation pod will remove all external stimuli from the picture, creating for a 100% or a close to 100% immersive experience.
Applications of this tech are immerse. Firstly, this can be used for training purposes where there are hazardous environments. This can eliminate the high investment capital and risk associated with it. It can be used by nuclear scientists or miners or army people. Critical scenarios which require high-stake decisions to be made that cannot be reproduced again and again can be simulated using this tech. When nerve shell developed fully, can provide a new interface to the digital age. Thank you.
I think this is a really cool idea. I'm curious, have you spoken to anyone who has said that this is a need? How did you identify this as a need?
Right. And so the real problem that we're trying to solve here is interaction with three-dimensional virtual worlds. And so currently, this is a little bit tricky to do. One time I tried teaching my dad how to play a 3D video game, and it's relatively tough, right? They don't know how to use the WASD keys and the mouse. It's a very cumbersome system, and it's very non-intuitive for someone who didn't grow up with that as a young gamer. And so this system will allow anyone to just think and do actions in these virtual worlds the same way that they would normally. And in terms of the need for accessing these virtual worlds, besides the applications of high-risk training and entertainment and therapy for disabled people, this is just another step in the way that we develop our interaction with the virtual world. And you can clearly see that, for example, companies like Meta are pouring in billions of dollars into creating these worlds. Facebook, Google, Roblox, they're all pouring in this money because they want 3D worlds to be the next thing where everyone can participate. And this will help that, yeah.
And how does the deprivation chamber help that? Because I'm thinking about interacting in a 3D world, but in a deprivation chamber, you're lying.
Right. And so the idea is that you don't need to physically move your muscles in the same way that you might see people now. So with this with the visual and physical reinforcement that what you're thinking of is actually happening, you won't even feel the need to move your muscles. It's almost like mind reading. And there's a nice experiment that was performed that involves a rubber hand. Have you heard about the rubber hand illusion? Yeah, it's like that, where if you have a rubber hand and you've hidden your real hand away, by physically stimulating both hands and by getting the visual reinforcement that your rubber hand is your real hand, you'll actually believe that it's your hand. And you'll completely forget about the existence of your real hand. And based on some of these crazy experiments, we believe that something like this can be possible, where you don't have to move your physical muscles. You just think about doing it, and you just get used to that happening.
Is there any gap in intellectual property in the space? Because I'm sure many people have moved in here.
And so the idea is we're trying to combine almost existing technology into one fully developed product. And this existing technology isn't necessarily unique, but the combination will be. And there's going to be a lot of software and a lot of communication between all these different facets in order for it to be a meaningful product. Like, for example, reading the brain waves and then translating that into actions in the virtual world, or controlling the haptic suit to make you feel like you're walking or that there's something happening or you're touching something.
Yeah, just to quickly add on to what he said, it's just like an integration, like he said, of both the VR glasses and the suit, right? So whatever you're going to see, you're going to feel it as well because of the haptic suit. That if you think that you're going to do something, you think that something's hitting you, you're going to feel it in your body, but then You're just going to be inside. Nothing's going to happen to you in real world, but you're still going to feel it. So yeah.
Okay.